showing you DEADZONE classic tips and tricks to get good at the game, like recoil controlling, and just basic PvP, car PvP, camping, all the basic stuff to get good at the game. As you can see, I have quite a few kills just on my main account, not including my alt account. So I have a lot that I can show you guys on how to get good at the game. The first thing I'll be going over for PvP is gonna be recoil control, since it's it's pretty much the easiest thing to learn in the game. Um, so most recoil in games you might be familiar with is more like spread out, maybe not like that, but like here. In this game, it's just straight up and down. That's not even recoil control, that's just with the bipod. Even if you take the bipod off, it's still not very like high recoil. So all you want to do is hold right click just like this, just like that. Hold in one spot, slightly pull down, and you'll pretty much get a perfect recoil control, just like this. It's just that really easy to learn, and yeah, that's how you recoil control in a DEADZONE Classic. Yeah, something that a lot of people don't know, by the way, is ammo dragging. So let's say you shoot someone in a fight, you get low on ammo. If you have another mag, you can drag it, another piece of ammo, onto the other one, and it'll reload without you having to press R. Okay. One thing most people believe is that bipod and grip have different recoil reductions. They have the same. There's no difference. Like, here's with the bipod, and here's with the grip. As you can see, they're the exact same. Use either one. I just use the bipod because I think it looks cooler, but that's up for you. This is going to show the different damages for arm, leg, torso, and head from an M2 with no barrel or silencer. On screen, I'm going to put a spreadsheet of the best guns in DEADZONE Classic, their damages, all of that stuff, just so you guys know what the best guns to use. The M107 and AS50 are slightly outdated because they now one-tap torso 2 along with head, so just keep that in mind. I'm now going to show every car spawn in the game. We are now entering the car PvP segment of the video. Here are some examples of foot shotting, which is a very good way to get damage and open up an opportunity to rush someone while they use their medkit to heal. Here is examples of foot shotting while they're at a place higher than you, which is a harder way to foot shot because you have to position your camera angle in a certain way. Here's an example of how to rush someone well in car PvP. This is something that I see a lot of people do that only hurts you, and that is Z spamming. Do not do it, it only slows you down and makes you easier to kill. This is what it looks like to fight someone who is Z spamming. This is an example of drop shotting. It is different from Z spamming, but this is more of a lot of drop shotting instead of a stable amount. You may also see me before I get into a car using my medkit. This is good because if they try to spray your car, which we will go over soon, you will heal while you're in your car. So even if they shoot you, you're already at full health. I will now show an example of using a tree as cover in case you don't have a car and someone else has a car. Here is another example of that, but in case they are circling around you while you're behind the tree. When they're doing this, you want to pop shot at them and spray their car when they're circling around you, and then hide behind when they're out of their car. Another thing that I see a lot of people do wrong is wide swinging. Wide swinging can sometimes be beneficial if you hit them and then you wide swing quickly enough and they don't realize you're rushing them, but most of the time it's only going to hurt you and get you killed. I will now show you an example of car spraying. For car spraying, you want to aim slightly in front of the car so that the car runs into the bullets and they die. Here's an example of spraying a car at a longer distance, which is hard to do, but all you really want to do is aim more further ahead of the car. One thing you should know about when you're spraying a car is that cars also have a headshot marker. It is just the top part of the car and it just does more damage and acts as a headshot. I'll throw a picture of where the hitbox for a headshot is on a car. During town PvP, you want to try and figure out where your enemy is and try and predict which area they're going to come from. You also always want to stay behind cover. Here, I thought he was going to come and try and flank me, but I was wrong. When you're sitting in a 3-story building, you want to take pop shots and try and damage them, and then let them try and rush you so you can kill them when they're rushing up towards you. Here's an example of sitting on the 2nd story instead of the 3rd story, which I believe is the better spot to camp at because it's easier to take shots at the person rushing in to the building. If you get damaged or shot, they might try and rush up, so I'd recommend hiding inside of that room that's on the 2nd story. When rushing a 3-story building, I'd recommend getting to the 2nd floor as quick as possible and hiding in the room, taking pop shots, and then clear the rest of the building after you kill the first enemy. If you're in a duo, I'd recommend one person sit on the top floor and one person sit in the room on the 2nd floor. So if someone rushes up to the 2nd floor, the person in the room can come and kill him while the 3rd story person shoots at the 2nd floor person rushing. When you're rushing someone, always pay attention to where they are and keep an idea of where. And if they peek a lot at the stairs, if you shoot them, when they head back to like try and go get cover to heal, rush up. When you're downstairs, also keep an eye out just to make sure they don't jump off from the 2nd story down to the 1st story and kill you from behind. If someone does jump down from the 2nd story to the bottom, then just rush up the stairs and now you're the one camping. If they decide not to peek a lot, then just go in 1st person Try and find out where they are, and then just rush up and pre-fire. When you are camping a two-story building, just don't peek and wait for them to rush, and then shoot them in the head. When camping a Fort Greene tower, just wait for them to rush up, and then just shoot them. If someone is sitting underneath the stairs where you can't see them, just drop down from the furthest point from the top of the stairs and shoot them. If you have no car and someone else does, you just want to pre-fire the corners that they will most likely peek at because they get overconfident and think you're gonna die and peek a lot. If you can, try and get them up on a hill and go and use the hill's cover if you can by like ducking down like I do in this clip, so you have cover and you can shoot at them and try and kill them. You should also try and keep them at a standstill so they can't come up behind you. So when you want a med kit, there's obviously when you're low on HP, you want to mainly do that. There is some situations when you don't, when someone's rushing you, you don't want a med kit, but you want to med kit before you get into a car and when you're low on HP. This is an example of when you do not want to med kit. This is an example of what you should have done in the same situation. That's the main ways to get good at DEADZONE Classic. If this video does well enough, I'll go more in depth with how clans, more stuff like that, how to beat bigger groups, conquer clans, should you join a clan, just stuff like that, hotspots, common mistakes, or more common mistakes. Yeah,